Meet Will and Tom, two seemingly ordinary men, cursed with a gift of vast knowledge that is forever expanding. Possessing incredible insight with unparalleled skills and expertise. Let us join them as they embark on a journey to quench their thirst for the truth while answering the questions to life's most intriguing mysteries. Let us open our minds and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? All right, listen up. Here's what we're gonna do. At exactly 6 p.m., that bank is gonna close its doors for the day. At that point, Skeezy and Mumbles are gonna attack the guard from behind before he can lock the door. Bootleg Chewy and I will then join them in the bank and have the employees fill our sacks with all that beautiful cash. Soon after that, Chop Shop is gonna roll up in our van so we can load it up and be on our merry way. We just need you to be our lookout since we're inside. So what do you say? Will you join us? Yeah, sounds simple enough. Of course I'll join you. Great. By the way, what do we call you? The name's Leroy Jenkins. Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
This is William Stark.
So, William, this one is something that I probably other people have thought about from time to time, especially when, you know, maybe you get that paycheck and there wasn't as much in there as you thought there was going to be. Right?
So this isn't an interesting or fun one, Tom?
This is going to be a riveting and exhilarating.
You can't reuse the words that I already gave you.
I stick with my words. What can I say?
Fair enough. Sorry.
This is going to be an interesting and fun one. No, this is going to be a thinker. Let's say that. This is a thinker.
Okay. All right.
What if you had to perform a heist for at least $1 million? How would you do it?
Okay.
And let me get you the parameters here. You are forced into performing this heist. So,
well, yeah.
Because I know, you could always say, like, I wouldn't do it. But you are forced into getting this heist for at least $1 million. You are guaranteed 50% of this, right?
Okay.
Because you're forced and this other person is going to keep the other 50%.
Okay.
But if you, in your plan, are going to have others help you, you have to equally split your 50% amongst however many people you have help you.
Right.
And there's no magic. And you can only...
and there's no magic.
Yeah, no magic. You can only use technology that exists today. Okay. And if you get caught, you are receiving full blame by the law. No one else will get blamed for this.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. All right. I think if I'm being forced to do this, I'm seriously not concerned about the money at all. I will literally share it with as many people as it takes to get this shit done. I don't give
okay.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to get out of this stupid situation.
Okay. Well, before we go further, too, that is very interesting you said that. Let's go to the deep dive real quick.
All right.
Fritz is out probably pulling a heist. So.
Details from the deep.
Pretty Boy Floyd, one of America's most notorious bank robbers on bank heists, he was known for destroying mortgage papers and consequently freeing hundreds of people from property debt.
Interesting.
I thought that, you know what, too? I've actually used that like nickname Pretty Boy Floyd and I never knew where that came from.
Oh, okay.
I remember, I forget who it was. I remember coming across someone and and I remember my friend was like, oh my God, like this guy came at me and he had like one eye was just like bashed up, like I don't know if this person was in an accident or what happened, but he said like he was missing teeth. He had like his big like blister on the lip and everything. And I was like, oh, like a Pretty Boy Floyd, like just making a joke. But then I never realized like where Pretty Boy Floyd came from.
Right. I mean, I'd never heard of him, so. I take it he's like in the 1920s, like a big rapper, like Babyface George and all those.
One of those type things.
Yeah. Well, hold up. Pretty Boy Floyd. What did he actually look like?
Actually, here he is right here.
Okay. Okay, he's not an ugly man.
No, not ugly man. I don't know if I'd call him a pretty boy.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know. I'd have to see him from a different angle.
Yeah,
But continue.
yeah. The picture doesn't do him justice.
Yeah,
right?
I was expecting either a very pretty man or a very ugly man. Instead, it was like an average looking.
That's
man.
what I thought too. I thought that the name would infer that he's actually just like you call like big people, you call them like tiny,
Right.
You know, like
Yeah,
I actually have
it's
a friend we
ironic.
call tiny.
Yeah.
Another thing about heists here is despite having DNA evidence for the suspect, German police could not prosecute a 6.8 million jewel heist because the DNA belonged to identical twins and there was no evidence to prove which one of them was the culprit.
Oh wow.
Dang, that would like, I mean, I'm sure they both probably were in on it, but like, imagine if you didn't tell your twin and you just had to be like, oh, just shut up. Just don't
Pissed.
tell him.
I'd
Like,
be so angry.
I know, right? I'd be like, you're going to be buying me whatever I want. The world's largest diamond heist was solved after the thieves dumped a garbage bag of evidence in the woods on the property of a man who happened to always pester the cops about garbage on his property.
Oh, so they finally showed up and then
They find that.
Oh my
I know.
gosh, that's funny.
The Stopwatch Gang was a group of that. I feel like that's like
We're the stopwatch gang.
yeah,
Shades.
yeah. I also feel like it's something that would be in like Gotham City. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
definitely.
Yeah. Like Alfred, let's look at the Stopwatch Gang. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The Stopwatch Gang was a group of 3 Canadian bank robbers who were known for their brilliant planning of heists, politeness to victims, and non-violent methods, all while robbing banks within 90 seconds. Oh, that seems kind of, like they were polite.
They were gentlemen
yeah.
about it,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, please, could you put the money into the bag?
Yeah, we're not here to rob the people. We're here to rob the bank.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Oh, lay down on the floor, but gently. Don't hurt yourselves. Quote unquote master idiot Peter Scott.
What?
Yeah, I know. Quote unquote master idiot Peter Scott was a burglar whose victims include Sophia Loren and the Shah of Iran. Disturbed during a heist by a woman, he shouted, "Everything's all right, madame," and she went off to bed thinking I was the butler. On other occasions, he would reassuringly shout, "It's only me."
What?
I guess so. Like, I guess what he would do is he would burgle into like someone's home, and then when the person woke up, he would just act like he was supposed to be there.
Oh my goodness! And it worked. That's crazy.
I know, right? Oh my!
It's only
God.
me, mom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The largest art heist in history was completed in 1990 at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, totaling 13 paintings worth $500 million. To this day, all of the empty frames are still hanging, acting as placeholders until the pieces are returned. Wow, that's kind of... So there's the largest art heist in history was completed in 1990. So does this mean that this was going on like through the years and then was completed?
Oh, I'm not sure.
That sounds weird. The way that was written, it makes me think that this was going on like one day, on a Monday, they're like, "Hey, that painting's gone." And then like the next week, hey, that other painting's gone too.
Oh my
Like, you know what I mean?
No, I think it was just all done at once. I don't think it was sprawled across multiple heists.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Do you have anything else?
I got one more.
Yeah.
There was a bank heist in which the robbers got away with $30 million in cash and carefully covered their tracks by wiping everything down in their townhouse before they left. However, they forgot to start the dishwasher, and so their fingerprints were found on dirty dishes.
Oh my goodness.
That would suck.
Well, okay, you said they got $30 million in cash. Where did they get that from? It doesn't say.
Bank heist.
Oh, it's
from a
bank
bank
heist.
heist.
Okay,
They
it
got
was a bank heist.
$30 million
Gotcha,
in
gotcha,
cash.
gotcha.
Man, could
Yeah.
I bet you there was probably the one guy in that group that they were like, "Hey, George, before we leave, don't forget, start the dishwasher." You know what I mean? And then they're probably like on their way and like, "Yeah, we got away with it." And then the George's like, guys, I forgot to start the dishwasher." You know what I mean? Like,
Hilarious.
that sucks, man.
Yeah, that would suck.
But yeah, that's all I got for that.
Okay, what's the time limit on pulling this heist off?
So
Do I have a year?
you get 6 months to prepare, and then like as far as the actual heist go, I mean, that's up to you. I mean, it can't go like, I don't see you pulling off some heist that maybe would last more than 24 hours, right? I don't know. Maybe you do.
What?
Like during, like when you actually do
No,
the
I mean,
heist.
what's the time limit for me to pull the heist off? Like,
yeah. Oh,
from
okay.
the time I'm given the job.
6 months.
I have 6 months
Yeah.
to pull it off. Okay. Well, I'm very disinclined to try and rob a bank because nowadays in most modern banks there's like a very robust security system to not only keep people out of the vault and keep the bank tellers protected, but to get the police there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So I think that's off the table, and $1 million is a lot of money. So I'm kind of limited in like I can't rob a liquor store. That's not going to do it. Also, I guess it's also technically not a heist. Although, what is a heist but just a robbery?
Yeah, that is true.
So my thought goes to this. Where do I know for a fact there will be a shit ton of money in one single location, and all I need is a person on the inside to get it out?
Okay, I think we're starting to formulate the same kind of plan.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think? Okay. So my thought is police station drug bust.
Oh, no, we are not thinking of the same thing.
And I'm thinking
Police station
all I
drug
need
bust.
is to keep track of the major drug busts across the United States. And when one big enough comes through, try and go through the database of all police officers working at that station and see if I can find one who's a crooked cop.
Okay. That's interesting.
At that point,
wow, this is not where I thought this was going.
I mean, I don't know where you thought it was going.
Well, okay, when you started saying like the inside job, I was thinking an inside job inside the bank. Not
No, I just said how I'm not doing banks.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but like, well, okay, yeah, you did say like
Yeah,
not.
I'm not doing banks.
Like,
I'm not doing casinos. I just feel like it's just too high profile and way too well protected these days.
yeah,
Like if it was 100 years ago, it would have been a bank,
yeah,
but not today.
yeah.
Is there anybody out there? Can anybody hear me? Please hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, this is Fritz Frivolous. I need your help. I'm stuck. Somehow stuck inside the minds of Will and Tom. I need to escape. Please support them and their podcast. You can go to patreon.com/dudecouldyouimagine or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Distract them long enough for me to break free. You can even leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, don't forget about me, Fritz Frivolous.
But drug busts happen all the time. And
I never thought about drugs.
yeah, and the money has to be kept as evidence, right? The only people with access to, I mean, obviously I have very limited knowledge of how these things actually work. But as far as I know, the only people with access to these evidence lockers are the police at the stations, right?
Yeah.
So my thought process is there's probably a station that probably does a drug bust that probably has at least one cop crooked enough to get bribed into heisting $1 million out of one of these drug bust evidence lockers.
That you could, yeah. And
Yeah.
well, okay. And then that way too, I remember earlier you're like, I don't care how many people I have helping me because I'll just want to split it. But I guess if you did it that way, technically you only have one person.
Well,
helping you.
okay, but then comes the problem of like, do I think I have the communication skills to convince someone to do this? And the answer to that is no, I probably don't.
The one thing you have going for you though is like, if I mean, I could be wrong because again, I'm not an expert in that too, but I would just suspect that a drug bust that would yield at least $1 million or more is probably going to be busted by a police force that's in a more populated area, which
Sure.
means you have more on that more officers on that force, which
So
would get higher
likelihood,
chance of
finding
a crooked
so,
cop.
I guess my question is, the person who's forcing me to do this, are they giving me any type of resources to work with, or am I just completely on my own? Because I'm like, can they give me a guy to talk to this dude and be like, okay, I'll do this heist. This is the place I want to hit.
you have to do that.
I need someone to talk to this officer and get him on board with the heist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. If you did do that, you're also going to, then that other person is someone who's helping you. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
you don't care
no.
about splitting the
No,
money.
no,
So,
I don't care. It's just
they will
like,
be able to
that's,
do that.
that's the thing is, if I'm left to my own to try and find someone that I think could convince this police officer to get on board
may
the
not.
heist train,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anybody. I would probably have to pick like, I have a few people in mind, just personal people that I know that are like the most singularly convincing people that I know of, and I would have to use them. They're salespeople that I know.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I would
and
probably use one of them if I could convince them to do this.
Yeah. You're like ABC, man, always be closing.
So yeah, I'm either going to use a liaison assigned to me through the person who's what's the word I'm looking for? They're not blackmailing me. They are but they're putting me up to this.
Mm-hmm.
And that if I'm not using that person, then it has to be one of the most charismatic people that I know in real life, and hope to God that works.
Yeah, that's
And basically, it's just about like, hey, we have a what would you call it? Like an investor who has the resources necessary to get you paid. If you could just do one thing, go into the locker, grab the evidence, meet me at this location, pass the money, and then we'll make the deal.
Yeah. I wonder too, because I know both you and I don't really actually know, since we're not experts of like the inner workings of a evidence room and stuff at a police department. I sometimes wonder, like, I actually do wonder, how are those evidence areas?
I don't know. I'm
Like,
sure they're a lot more difficult to get in and out of than I know. But like, if anybody would know how to get something out of there, it would be people who work there.
Yeah, it would be someone crooked.
That's the best I could think of. Yeah, that's the best I could think of, because I don't think I would be able to get $1 million out of a bank. And I don't think I'd be able to do it without getting caught. And I don't think I could do that at a casino either.
Yeah, I figure. Okay, so my idea actually would involve probably a casino or
how would you do it, Tom?
The bank.
Tell me.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do, right? It's gonna be like one of those heist movies. Yeah. No, like the only way that I was thinking about it was, first of all, I would use all inside people, right? And that's where the dilemma with that is you'd have to find them or convince them, right? I would limit the amount of people helping me, though, not because of the splitting of the cash issue, but because I just feel like too many moving parts. There's like more chance of it falling apart,
right?
And let's say if it was a bank, right? What I would imagine actually trying to do is I would want to find out what alarm or security system they're using, right? Get an inside person at that company that can control the flow of like if an alarm goes off or just shutting it off completely.
Right.
But then I would also need the inside bank person. And what I would actually do is I would have them steal as much as possible as they can each day until it can total up. You know what I mean?
I think it's a bad idea.
You think that's the worst way to go? So just one shot.
It gets checked by computers every night. Like they're going to notice like, $10,000 missing every night for 2 weeks. Like, yeah, I think you're going to flag down so fast. Yeah.
So then, yeah, it would have to be then just doing it in the one shot, like having the one person, if possible, somehow staying in there.
I thought of another thing. This again involves a bunch of shit that I don't know and understand nothing about.
Okay.
But since so much money in this world is digital, I mean, you might want to hire. See, here's the thing: is like, okay, a person is making me do a heist, but they're not giving me any resources, so. I'm thinking like I get some like crazy hacking team to hack into a bank and wire $1 million. But I'm sure if it was that easy, that would happen all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So never mind.
Unless you got unless you got the guy from Superman. What is that? Superman 2 or 3?
I don't know.
You haven't seen those where he creates this program that like takes the little fractions of every transaction and like puts it into an account. But he was talking about trying to do like embezzle. He was trying to embezzle, but he was trying to take fractions of pennies and to do it over time. But when he wrote the program, Office Space took that in that movie. They mentioned that Superman movie, right?
Okay,
and that's where they got it from.
Gotcha.
And then, but when he wrote the program, he made a mistake, and it was actually taking full like dollars or cents amounts or something,
just like Office Space.
So, yeah, exactly. And so what ended up happening is they get like millions and millions off one.
Are you sure you're not remembering Office Space?
Well, Superman came out before Office Space.
No, I understand, but like I thought the idea was taken from Superman, but like it's the whole plot of the movie now.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah,
so in Superman, this hacker accidentally takes too much money.
Yeah, it was played by Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor plays the guy who works at like this computer whatever company, whatever it was.
Okay.
And financial institution, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so he tries to embezzle this money.
And he embezzles too much.
And he embezzles too much, but he gets caught and everything. And then Lex Luthor bails him out because Lex Luthor wants him to he wants his computer savvy, to like do nefarious things for him to destroy Superman.
To embezzle better.
Well, to destroy Superman. Because Lex Luthor wants to destroy Superman. How does he use
Richard Pryor to destroy Superman?
He makes him build this like computer and this machine
to do what?
That's supposed to be powerful enough to kill Superman.
This doesn't
right?
seem like a good plan.
And because it has kryptonite, he uses kryptonite to do stuff, right?
I bet he
does. Like, dude, I've seen this movie like when I was a kid. I don't know. I can't remember every single detail on the plot, but that's basically what happens. But then the guy, Richard Pryor, right, his character, he doesn't want to like kill anyone. He doesn't want to kill Superman. You know what I mean?
We've gone too far.
Yeah. So he actually ends up at the end. He does tell Superman, like he actually saves him, and he does tell Superman like what actually is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that is basically where on Office Space that they got that plot.
Well, in Office Space, the exact same thing happens.
Yeah, I know,
they accidentally put the decimal place to the wrong place, and they steal too much money. So, okay, that's crazy. Anyway,
they even referenced the Superman movie.
Yeah, no, I believed you, but I didn't realize like how closely they followed.
Oh,
that they even made the same mistake that was made. That's crazy. Anyways, So I mean, possibly if I could get put into contact with like some high end hackers who are like willing to hack, I don't know, some poorly secured bank system, like maybe some offshoot. But you know how like we have the big banks here in the U.S., right? So you have like I don't know Chase and Bank of America, Wells Fargo. But then you have those little chains, right? Those little just one-off banks in some random city. I'd probably hit one of those.
Oh, okay.
With the hacker.
Yeah.
'Cause I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine that they probably have the lowest security of all the the bank types in the world. As a matter of fact, I might choose
wonder about that.
some fucking bank in some rural ass town in some midwestern state that probably has no you never think they would get hacked, right? Because like who targets that bank?
Yeah,
this guy,
the first bank of Smallville, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And me and Hacker Joe are about to like take this bank for all it's got.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it wirelessly, so we can't retract.
Yeah,
technology and shit. And it's either that or I get a crooked cop.
I think that's a good idea.
Do you?
Honestly,
I think they're all bad ideas.
None of them. But I mean, if you had to pick one, if you were forced, I think that's probably the way to. I can't believe I didn't think about it that way. I think it was because when I saw the way I was writing this, in my head, I just imagined it had to be cash. But you're right. It didn't stipulate like if it had to be cash or if you just like transferred it into someone's account. So you know what? If
also,
you could do it that way.
You did not specify how much money or what kind of currency. So I mean, I might just buy enough Monopoly board games to get $1 million Monopoly bucks. Bam, problem solved.
Well, this is for at least $1 million. I think dollars are only U.S. currencies.
No, Australia has dollars.
Oh, okay.
Monopoly has dollars.
Yeah, your Monopoly.
Yeah, goddamn right it does.
You're right. Then we solved it right there, man. Monopoly dollars. Boom. We get 500,000.
Give me that Monopoly money.
Yeah. I'll be living fine on Park Avenue now. But dude, could you imagine?
That's funny.
The podcast you have just heard are the imaginings from the highly evolved minds of the extra-dimensional beings, Will and Tom. It has been translated into a format more easily understood by the human mind. Interpret it as you will. Should you find yourself seeking more answers to life's most intriguing mysteries, you can show your support by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. You can also leave an Apple Podcasts review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel, where you can leave a like and a comment. We can also be reached through our email, dudecouldyoumagine@gmail.com. We leave you now so that you may gather your thoughts. Until we meet again, to ponder the meaning of the cosmos and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Man, I bet you there was probably the one guy in that group that they were like, hey, George, before we leave, don't forget, start the dishwasher. You know what I mean? And then they're probably like on their way and like, yeah, we got away with it. And then George's like, guys, I forgot to start the dishwasher. You know what I mean? Like,
Hilarious.
that sucks, man.
Yeah, that would suck.